1.5 liter turbocharged Accord is the least fuel efficient option according to the EPA. But when we tested the hybrid model out on the highway, we got 37 MPG, and that is what the EPA says we should get in this base 1.5 EX model. So it's time to test it. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and tonight we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2023 Honda Accord EX with that base motor, the 1.5 liter turbocharged inline 4. We've been looking forward to running this test for a while, so without any further ado, let's hop out and take a look at it. Actually, in the same pretty blue color that we had the hybrid model, actually, I think. Yeah, it's been a while since we had that car. It was back in Michigan. And I think I also had a CR-V in the same color. That's pretty attractive. I have actually quite enjoyed having this car around. There is one fatal flaw that I think it has. You're going to have to watch the review to see that. I'm going to hold out on you for this one, although I bet some of you could make a guess at what it is when I get inside the seat again. But I'm really curious what sort of fuel economy we're going to get. We've covered the 23 Accord a lot, so check the link in the description. We've got our sound system test on this one, on the Bose model. We got the fuel economy test on the other one, even though I already told you what it got. All the videos will be found in the link below. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's fuel economy test, which gives this Accord, like I said, 37 MPG highway. Turning radius isn't fantastic in this. That test only averages 48 miles per hour. We know there are people who use their vehicles on long trips and would like to know what sort of numbers you can realistically expect here in the real world at highway speeds, real highway speeds. Not only that, but a lot of cars shifting to these smaller turbocharged engines, they're kind of tuned to perform well on the EPA's tests, but does that actually mean that they perform well in the real world in these sort of steady state applications? That's not always the case. So in order to test that out, we're going to head over to the gas station here. We're going to fill up. We're going to go out and do 50 miles out and then 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour. And then we're going to come back to the same pump, fill up again using the same 3-click fueling method that we used at the beginning, and get a result. Now, a few things to note for today. Outside temperature is currently 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Our tire pressures have been set to their door placard, 33 psi front, 32 psi rear, and that's both cold. And we're going to have our climate control set at 73 degrees auto. It's funny, if I so much as change up my my cadence for these videos at all, just a little bit, it throws the whole thing off. I got to kind of think about what I'm saying. But if I can keep it all to the same sort of rhythm and cadence and things that I'm saying, then it comes out almost second nature. All right, let's hop out and fill it up. 4.818 gallons is what we put in for our first fill. And before starting the engine, we're going to reset the car's trip computer, as well as set our climate control and our GPS. And we're ready to begin. No actual drive modes here in the Accord, but we do have an Econ button, and I'm going to have that enabled for the test. It's possible it will affect the way the climate control works, and possible a little bit with the way that the throttle mapping works as well. We're going to take it nice and easy over to the highway. It's about 0.2 miles away, and pick up the test from there. Econ mode doesn't really seem to be affecting the throttle at all. It doesn't feel any more sluggish, which is weird. We've definitely experienced Hondas with Econ mode, making it feel a lot more like a dog. But the goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to get the best possible fuel economy for the car, but rather a realistic figure. So in order to do that, we're going to get up to highway speeds here at a reasonable pace and set our cruise control at a GPS indicated 71 miles per hour. That should allow us to average 70 over the whole test. Looks like we're actually still dealing with a little traffic tonight. That's kind of surprising here, coming 7 o'clock. It's the same day we always run these tests, but daylight savings time just switched over recently, so that could be throwing people off a little bit, causing extra congestion. I am all for eliminating the change of daylight savings time. I think we should stick with daylight savings time on and never change. Alright, so it does look like the initial portion of our test is going to be skewed just a little bit. Quite a bit of traffic here. Hopefully we can stay moving decent speeds, but this shouldn't last too long. Usually clears up here after a little bit. Initial highway impressions, I've been impressed by how quiet the Accord is, even in its more basic trim. It's a nice, smooth highway experience. I also have to think that the extra sidewall on the tires of these EX wheels have to add to a little bit of kind of sound deadening as well as ride smoothness. So, thankful for that. But we're going to continue on with the test here and catch up with you at the end. I'm going to test out this 8-speaker mid-level audio system. Can't imagine it's fantastic. I've done a little bit of listening already and haven't been super impressed, but hey, they got to give you a reason to step up to the Bose and the touring, right? But we'll catch up with you at the end. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. Coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the 1.5 Accord EX, and according to the vehicle's trip computer, we are smacking the hybrid right down. We are averaging 42 MPG over this test. Now, like I said at the beginning, we did have a little bit of traffic, but because of that, I bumped the average speed up to 72 miles per hour, or rather, the speed that I was set at, 72 miles per hour. Our average is sitting at 69 right now, but I gotta think that's pretty close up towards 70. So overall, a pretty smooth run, but a little bit more of that traffic there at the beginning. Either way, 42 MPG. So, I think a lot of that comes down to the wheels that are on this car. These 17-inch wheels are very likely more efficient than the big wheels that you get on that touring hybrid. And the non-touring hybrid gets a 19-inch wheel, I believe, that's supposed to get you a few better MPG than the touring. But still, we're getting what I think the hybrid, I don't know which one, I don't have the fuel economies right in front of me, but I know both of the hybrids are up in the 40s, and we're looking at 42 right now, even though this one's only EPA rated at 37. Other highway observations, the active lane keeping works quite well. The adaptive cruise control does seem to be a little conservative. I've had situations where a truck is kind of coming into my lane, but not really, like it's still in its own lane, and just enough for the system to get scared and slows down. So that's been a little frustrating. There doesn't seem to be a ton of supportive seat cushion below me, but fortunately we do still have lumbar adjustment here on these cloth seats, so that's nice to have. It still is pretty quiet. It still is pretty ride comfortable and compliant. So overall, this is a pretty darn good highway cruiser. But we're going to get it back to the pump, fill it up, make sure this number is verified on our pump fill-up, see how much fuel we actually put in the tank, and get our final result. So I've been sitting here for about 5 minutes at this point, waiting for the Tesla Model S to move from the pump that I need to use. For those of you who aren't familiar with our tests, we use the same pump to fill up at the beginning and end to eliminate any inconsistencies in the pumps. So I've got to use that pump number 9 there. That's the one I started with, and I haven't been pump blocked at all yet here in California. Usually this station is pretty chill. Not too many cars here, but what time is it? 8:30. This Tesla has decided to thoroughly clean his interior, and yeah, I'm hoping he's about done, or not even interior. It's interior and exterior. He's just been wiping down little bits with a mixture of the scrubber thing, the window scrubber you see in his hand, and then rags. And I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should ask him, because I know it sounds weird. It's a weird request for me to say, hey, could you move to a different pump. I don't know. I don't want someone to be hostile, put it that way. But I don't know how much longer he's gonna take. If he starts to go inside or something like that, I'll hop out and ask him to move the car. But yeah, kind of a silly situation here. 2.529 gallons going in for our final fill. We traveled 100 miles. So 100 divided by 2.529 is giving us, okay, so a little bit lower than the vehicle's readout, 39.5. But because we got 42 on the dash, we're going to round that up, and because that's also how mathematically would round up, 40 miles per gallon here in the Accord EX 1.5T. 3 miles per gallon better than the Accord Hybrid Touring that we tested. Pretty compelling though. That's a pretty efficient figure, especially for a larger car like this. It's been a while since we've seen anything 40 or above. Now, interestingly, we are getting the 1.5 CRV next week as well, and I'm really looking forward to testing that compared to the hybrid CRV and see if it also excels better on the highway. We've got a 14.8 gallon fuel tank in here, so 14.8 times 40 miles per gallon is giving us an effective highway cruising range of 590 miles here in the Accord EX from 2023. So, not too bad. It definitely still shows you the advantages of running a sedan when you're doing a lot of highway miles. And again, hybrid maybe not necessarily all that important, again, if you're doing a lot of highway driving. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on this Accord, check the link below. I'm going to record my review tomorrow, and I have some thoughts about it. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.